What is going on, everybody? Root of the Null here, coming back at you with some more Python tutorials. Right now we're looking at RE module in Python, regular expressions, and a lot of the cool stuff we can do with that. So, in the last video, we set up a little testing environment that will actually read multiple occurrences of anything that we find with regular expressions and in the pattern. It's kind of like a global switch for on any other regular expression that you would see just with backslashes or maybe in Perl or whatever you'd typically be using. But it's just so it's set up this way so our match highlighter can actually find all of the multiple occurrences that we see in a string and in the thing that we're trying to match. So in this video, I just kind of want to clarify some of the jazz that we had with the regular expression object, because that's what we used to set up this new match highlight. So I'm over in the documentations and I'm scrolling down and there's a whole lot of stuff here, module constants, blah blah blah. What I want to show you guys are, of course, the regular expression objects, the regex objects. Okay, so right here. This is what we use, the search function is what we use in the last video to set up the multiple occurrences, because we can pass in a position and an end position for the string and the patterns and stuff that we're looking for. And that's pretty common throughout all the functions that the regular expression objects have. Now, the same thing happens for like match or for find all and find iterator that you would actually see in the same regular expressions module. You can see find all right up here that has still a pattern in the string, and of course match and search are up here as well, but the regex object gives you the capability to start at a specific position and go to a specific range because of the end position. So that's really all. The other functions like split, sub, sub-n, and those sort of things we're going to be getting into in a later tutorial. But now that I've kind of showed you that, yeah, the regular expression object has these functions, they're nifty in that you can use them with position and an end position argument. Okay, so that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about for those, because I really want to put those to bed. It's about time that we try to move on ever so slowly and actually learning more regular expression special characters and stuff that will do things. So, right now we're going to be looking at some of the backslashes that we can use. Number is a good one. We can use actually backslashes to denote special characters or special things in our regular expression pattern. So let's see. We want to use, let's go for the \a. Matches only at the start of the string. That's essentially the exact same thing as the caret that we've been using. If I use the \a and then I use the period right here, hopefully we'll have the exact same output as we did before. Okay, now that's only starting at the beginning of the string, not at the beginning of the line. So I guess it's cool that we made that start of the string. It's cool that we made that distinction. It's good we tested that. Probably the same thing is going to happen for \z, because, you know, matches only at the end of the string. Very, very likely we'll find this period at the very end. Let's check it out in code. Let's use \z at the very end here. And if I hop over to my terminal, there it is. We get the period at the very end, and that's what our testing environment finds. Nice! So what else have we got? -b, I think that means for block. You can keep that in your mind. It matches the empty string, but only at the beginning of the end of the word. And it gives some examples here, like -b and -b around foo will match foo, foo bar, foo period, anything around it. Okay. So it has to not have spaces around it. At least that's what I understand. Let's try it. Let's just look for -b, as many things as we can get. -b there. Will that work for us? Not really. So now it's just getting the space characters. We might be able to experiment with that more. Actually, let's just use the word is. And then it'll find it. Cool, cool. Now let's use the word right. That won't work. Okay, it will work, even if it's got yeah, even if it has the question mark there. It'll do the same thing if we don't have that there. If we added another one at the very end, it'll still work because we can find as many of these as we need. It's just going around the word. Alright. Well, it's good to experiment with that one, the -b tag. uppercase B. Whenever you have any typical escaped or backslash letter in regular expressions, it often has the reverse role or the opposite functionality when you bring it to an uppercase or lowercase letter. We'll see that in the next few ones, but dash B does kind of the opposite. Dash uppercase B. See, now it's not finding anything. What if I removed some of this? I wonder if I can find dash uppercase B because of that question mark. Still can't. If we look for just that. Alright, sounds like a lot of no characters. Okay, so anything that has, like, kind of word characters around it. Anything that is not a white space character or a punctuation mark. Huh. That's really cool. I guess we'll have to learn more about that one. Keep that one in your brain, guys. I typically don't use that when I'm using regular expressions. I actually move on to these, the more common ones, dash D and uppercase dash D. The documentation notes that when the Unicode flag is not specified, this will match any decimal digit, and that's exactly correct. I would just typically say that it will match any number, any integer. So right now, there are no integers in our string, so it's not going to find anything. But if I were to throw in, like, boom, 76897, it'll find all of these separately. 76897. Because it's only matching one. Keep in mind our match highlight kind of breaks for this. I will admit I have not found a solution or figured out a solution for that yet. But what our find all function finds is a good example of how that all works. You can, of course, use the just the asterisk, and find all of those at once. That's exactly what you'll find. These, I think, are bugs. But yeah, I would use a plus. That might work for us. Yep. So the plus, I'll actually get into that one. The plus sign will work pretty similar to the asterisk. The asterisk that causes the regular expression to match 0 or more repetitions of the preceding regular expression, as many repetitions as are possible. And the plus sign will cause the resulting RE to match 1 or more of the repetitions of the preceding. And it will not match as many as possible. It will not be greedy, as they say. It's more of a lazy grabber. The asterisk will get as much as possible, while the plus sign will not. So you can use these kind of synonymously. Not really, because there's a slight difference. In this case, asterisk is 0 or more, plus sign is 1 or more, so you will have to know. Oh, I just checked out. Sorry, I went to different tabs in my web browser for some strange reason. Don't know why I had that in my mind. Next, I want to head over to dash D, the uppercase. Keep in mind that'll give anything that's not a number. You can see that obviously being very clearly demonstrated. Dash W will match for word characters, anything like a letter. And you can see up in our find all, it is finding the word this all in separate occurrences. Not going to look all that well in our match highlighter because that's my fault. I don't know why it's finding numbers as well. Let's check that out. I guess it does count numbers as well because it's not finding it with the uppercase dash W. But that should find anything that's not a word character. And it's finding all of these parentheses, sorry, not parentheses, but punctuation marks, space characters, and new lines. Let's use it with the plus sign. See, so now it's grabbing everything except those spaces and those question marks and the periods and the punctuation marks. So it's finding as many word characters as it can. Next one, dash S. That'll find space characters. White space. It could be spaces, it could be tabs, it could be new lines. Let's actually add a few tabs in. I wonder if it'll find that. Yep. Alright, so it found the dash T. Of course, you can use your plus sign to find more of them. and you can actually, of course, use the capital S and find anything that is not a space character. Let's use the plus sign for that one. So now it's finding everything that's not a space character. So it is getting these punctuation marks like the period, the comma, and the question mark. So those are good ones to know. D for decimal, like number. W for word characters and letters and numbers. And S for space. So keep those in the back of your mind. All of it's really, really simple. Just a backslash and then the letter. And those are good regular expressions to know. Alright. Thank you for watching this one, guys. I hope you will bear with me in the fact that our multi-line highlighter does not work all that well. But I think with the find all and with what does work, you get a good idea of how the regular expression module is finding stuff. If you want to learn more about, or at least you want to have better examples of how regular expressions can work this way, I would check out some tools online. I know there's one, I think, called regexr or regexr. I don't really know how to pronounce the program, but it's a good like experimentation tool and help you. It's like a sandbox for regular expressions. You can just see what you like, what works, and what doesn't, and that's a good way to learn. So, thank you for watching, guys. Just real few simple to show you, and hopefully we'll get into some new stuff in the next tutorial. Thank you for watching. Talk to you later.